Hello and welcome to a new video, and we're here at Hawarden Bridge Station in Deeside, but this isn't what we've come to look for. Looking for an old three-way junction. Hawarden Bridge Junction, or as it was later known, Dee Marsh Junction, was developed on the north bank of the River Dee. What is now the Borderlands line had been developed in sections from Wrexham, reaching what is now Shotton High level by 1890. On the other side of the river, the Chester and Connors Quay Railway was developing a line that ran to Chester Northgate. These two lines were linked by the Hawarden Swing Bridge. The three-way junction would be created when a third line was built to the north to reach Bidston by the North Wales and Liverpool Railway in 1896. This would be linked at the southern end to both the lines to Shotton and Chester. Over time, stations would be provided at each of the connecting points on the triangular junction, as well as substantial sidings serving the steelworks at Shotton. Today, the Borderlands line from Wrexham to Bidston remains open. The line east to Chester closed to passengers in 1968 and goods in 1992. In this video, we're going to have a look around the area of the junction and see what railway relics remain. So this was a three-way junction with a line heading north to south and one going off to the east with a double junction. There was also a station at one time on each of the three junctions. So this is the site of Chester Golf Club Halt. We've got the active line just beyond the fence up the embankment, which is now called the Borderlands line, and that runs from Wrexham up to Bidston. There's no access obviously to the site as it's on an active line, but it would have been just up there. It was open 1891 to 1896 and it served Chester Golf Club, which is now where the Deeside Industrial Estate is. There's nothing left of these stations, but I believe there is some relics still around the site, and there might also be a bit of track work. So roughly where the junction would have split, we have got an embankment here. We're here on the old track bed, and as you can see there's still ballast down. So we'll go and have a look and see what other bits we can find. And of course, as it's a disused track bed, we've got silver birch everywhere. Going for some distance now, probably about 100 yards, still got ballast down on the ground. So we have got an old fence post, and maybe it's one of these that carried the signalling cables at one time. Just found another one. Definitely it carried signalling cables because you've got the brackets for them. So, still on the old track bed. It's little used, this obviously is a footpath, but we've got ballast, but we've also got tarmac footpath running at the bottom of the embankment. So again, you probably just get a few people using this pathway. Again, you can see the extent of the ballasting that survived. So lots of ballasting in between tree roots, but we've had these two signalling posts up to now. See what else there is. We've got another signal post there, just in signal cable post, should I say, in the undergrowth. Possibly remains of a telegraph pole. You can just see the footpath just in the back that seems to follow the line of the embankment. So we're on the south to east line at the moment that heads towards Chester. We've got the triangle of the junction here. So the embankment in the distance, that's the Borderlands line that goes from Wrexham to Bidston, and on the far side that's the east to north line. So we'll have a look at that shortly. there does seem to be quite a lot of these signal cable posts that have survived. This line, of course, was open till relatively recently. And another one. I would guess, looking at the width of this embankment, this was probably a single track line here. I would probably say most of them have survived, because we're still finding them every so often. Still got quite heavy ballast down at this point. Yeah, these posts are pretty regular, probably about every 15 foot or so. So we're coming close to the East Junction now. Quite a nice looking bridge surviving over there. So that'll be on the east to north line. So I don't know if these are gate posts that might be original to the line. We've still got the signal cable posts. There's a couple more remains of telegraph poles as well. As this is not an official footpath, that was probably an old railway sign that was on there. So we're at the end of that section of raised track bed. Got the bridge that we just saw just along there. So I'm assuming this is the east to north line. And we've got the footpath that follow that embankment that we've just gone along. So take it this would have been the track bed towards Chester. Yeah, you can see where the footpath's raised, so we're at track bed level now. Just to give you an idea where we are, these footpaths head towards Hawarden Bridge where we started, Connors Quay, Chester and Neston, which is a stop on the Borderlands line. So we've just come over a little stile here, seems to be on the edge of an embankment. We've got, it looks like a British Rail fence post there. So there's the junction just back there, there's that stile that we've just gone over. So if we turn round, we've got the site of Chester Junction Golf Club platform, open 1896 to 1927 I think. So there was a golf course in this area. The area that covered is now part of the sprawling Deeside industrial estate. You can just see a bit of down there. So just heading back to the East Junction, about half a mile behind me is the site of Sealand Station, which I covered in a recent video. That was built for RAF Sealand. I'll put a link to that in the video description. So we're now on the east to north line. At the end of this was Birkenhead Junction Golf Club platform. All three of these were halts. That was open again 1896 to 1927. I think they were all replaced by Hawarden Bridge Station. You can just see in the distance, that's the Borderlands line and one of the former London Underground units that Transport for Wales have now. That's heading to Bidston. And we're just on the bridge that we saw before. Doesn't seem to be anything on the other side. Take it there might be a stream in there. Must be a bit dried up. So that's the triangle formed by the lines there. A little bit similar to what you've got at Earlstown. I'm not sure if the track would have run along where the footpath is or in the trees a bit. It's quite overgrown, so nowhere near as good as it was on that last section for remains, but I believe there is much better still to come. Again, virtually every single tree is silver birch, which is what you find on all these disused railway lines. As you can see, the footpath drops quite steeply here. We've got the Borderlands line just behind the trees in the distance, but there is another little section of trackbed to explore. So that's the footpath that we've just been down, that we've just come along. That's heading back towards Chester. You've got the footpath just going off to the right there, back towards Hawarden Bridge, and the footpath here continues on towards Neston. However, there is another little bit of trackbed here, and it looks like I've saved the best to last. We've got Bidston, and we've actually got some track remaining. Now, I did think it might have been a little bit longer than that, but still great to see. So that's the Borderlands line. So that's the north-south side of the triangular junction. The buildings that we can see in the distance there, that's on the active line. That's Dee Marsh sidings, which are served every day by a train from South Wales that go to the, I think it's Tartar Steel now, it used to be Summers and British Steel. So we've got a full abandoned rail here, sleepers. The whole lot. So just through this fence here, that's active line now, so there's no access. That is a site of Birkenhead Junction golf club platform, just through there. So just have a look through the fence. So I don't know what this building is here. It might have been a signal box or something to do with the sidings. They do get a daily service, but it's only one a day, I think, so it is quite a lightly used facility now. So the short stretch of track does continue beyond the fence for some distance. Presumably they've been severed at the points. This is the only photograph I can find of any of the three halts. I think it's the Birkenhead Junction halt, and I would imagine the other two look pretty similar to this. So again, just looking at the track bed, heading back towards Chester. So we're heading off back down this way. Now this wasn't former railway here, this runs parallel with the Borderlands line, so that looks like it's the Borderlands line there. You just see the Bidston at the top of the embankment. This way, we're looking back to where that bit of track was. We've got the north to east embankment with the bridge over that side. And then over there where the trees are, we've got the first bit of track bed that we walked along where we had all the signal cable posts. So we're just coming to the South Junction, or I think it's Wrexham Junction it's known as. Got the track bed where we started. There is a little bit more track bed here, so maybe just have a quick look up there and see if there's anything to see. So this just runs along this other little bit of embankment, just at the bottom of it there. Got quite an old footpath, so I don't know what this was accessed for, but we have got another bridge that's fenced off and gated off, and that's the Borderlands line that runs over there. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything up here at all. It's only a short section that's accessible. that's where we've just been, and that's where we started on the first bit of old trackbed. So I think that concludes our explore of Dee Marsh Junction. We're just again at the site of the first halt that we saw, which was Chester Golf Club halt. Hawarden Bridge Station is just a little bit further up this footpath. Got Dee Marsh signal box there. Don't know if that controlled the whole junction or not. It certainly controls the access into the Dee Marsh sidings today. And we're back at Hawarden Bridge, so I hope you've enjoyed this look around the remains of the former Dee Marsh Junction. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.